Hello, I'm Sister Patricia Carmela Urbanelli, but most people call me Sister Patty. In August of 2016, I made my first profession as a Sister of St. Joseph in Watertown, and I'm looking forward to making my final profession in a few years. I am currently living in Ogdensburg, where I live with two other sisters, and I am the youth minister for the parishes in the area. As you can see, I'm not a young woman entering into religious life, and that's not uncommon nowadays. I spent many years working in the business world, and I had a good career. I had a house, but I had always felt drawn to religious life. And one day I was in the office and speaking with a couple of friends, and my friend Carl asked me the question, if money was no object, what would you be doing? I immediately knew I'd give myself to God. I didn't want to say it to him, but I finally did. And then he asked, why aren't I pursuing it? So I thought about it, and every time I passed him in the hall, I'd said it was his fault. I couldn't think of anything else. And finally felt that maybe I should speak to my priest. You know, years of being scared about the vocation and feeling unworthy and uncertain, I spoke with Father Al, and he said, to make an appointment with him during the week because he was between masses, so he was busy, and I knew that. That following weekend, Father Al wasn't at Mass, but we had the vocation directors for the Redemptorist Order. And the parish I was at in Kannapolis, North Carolina, was a Redemptorist parish, and the vocation directors were speaking directly to me. They said, when you have a call, God continues to call you. Even if you say no, God will continue to call. And it will never go away. And that's exactly how I felt at that moment. And so the following week I made an appointment with Father Al, and we spoke for 3 hours. And he was also a late vocation. And so it's not atypical nowadays. But he told me to pray and ask God for a sign. He said, pray every day for a month to ask for a sign. And so I did. And it took 3 days. And God started singing to me, which is in my past has always been the way God connects to me, is he gives me a song. He gives me a song lyric, and he kept saying, do not be afraid, I am with you, from the song You Are Mine. And I couldn't get it out of my head. So I spoke with Father Al the following week, and he was very encouraging. He told me about his journey and how he went through the big list of different communities, and there's the Vision magazine, which has a website called vocationmatch.com, and you take a questionnaire like you do on a dating website, and it matches you with communities, and that's what it did for me. It matched me with 76 communities. I'll always remember that number. And I went to the websites. Now, I'm in North Carolina. I'm from New York originally, but not the North Country. And I look into our website, and there's this picture of Joseph holding the toddler Jesus, and he's laughing. The two of them are just laughing. And I kept feeling drawn to know more about the community. So I did. I contacted multiple communities and visited 4 different locations. But I knew even before I got here that this is where I was supposed to be. On my first visit, which was in 2012, April of 2012, I was driving towards the mother house in Watertown, and I was about 2 miles away, and the song Almost Home starts playing on the radio. And again, God singing to me. So I felt so at peace from the moment I stepped into our mother house. I remember Sister Gabriel Marie was sitting at the reception desk, and to this day she'll always be that very special face of the Sisters of St. Joseph for me. And after I left, I wanted to make sure that I felt this same high, and I didn't contact the community for a month. But I couldn't stop thinking about them, and I couldn't wait to go back. And I contacted them and came for a 2-week visit. All of this is part of the pre-discernment, or the discernment process, but the pre-candidacy process. And when I came for a longer visit, I was there for about 2 weeks. And I spoke with Sister Bernadette, who was the major superior at that time, and expressed my desire to continue further. And so I wrote a formal letter requesting acceptance into the community and was thrilled to receive an acceptance back. I entered as a candidate in April of 2013, and on April 10th of 2015, I became a novice, or I formally got to be called Sister Patty. I spent the next year studying with other novices of Sisters of St. Joseph in Kansas, and the other sisters were from both the United States and Canada. And again, I'm not a young woman, but I was the youngest novice there. So, if you think you're too old, you're not. And then again, last August 2016, I professed first vows. And I'll renew those vows annually for 3 to 5 years until I make my final vows. And that is the true final commitment. It is but all this time, every day, I make a choice to discern to stay as a Sister of St. Joseph. And, one of the things that I would tell anybody discerning, whether they be young or old, is, first of all, don't feel unworthy, because you are. I would say trust God and ask Him for that sign. He will give it to you. You just have to ask. But to know that if you have a call, when you are finally pursuing it, you will be happy. That doesn't mean that life won't be difficult at times, because we are still human and it is life. But you'll know that you have what you need to get through those obstacles, and you will truly be happy. I hope this has helped anybody out there, and God bless.